Looks like Mario was having a nice little deep slumber when it comes to his sleep, but let's not get ahead of ourselves because we are still gonna get a move on. So in this case though, it's time to collect some more Power Stars. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Mexi here once again, and I'm back for yet again for the likes of the Mexi Toys videos as always. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Mario 3D All-Stars while we're still playing through Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Switch. So, last time, I believe we have managed to able to almost completely done with the forms of the Terrace Dome, and also we've managed to able to got started with the forms of the Fountain Dome, and also we've managed to stumble across the actual Prankster comments for the first time on our hands. So in this case though, we've already did manage to done one already. So today, for this video, is the fact that we're about to be continuing things on in the Fountain Dome, and able to actually hit back into the forms of Space Junk Galaxy to take on the next mission, which appears to be Polestar Path Speedrun, which is pretty much exactly the same mission as we've already did done previously, except obviously we have a time limit. So in this case though, we need to rush things up, just in case we don't want to be too slow or likely just trying to explore too much, because obviously if you explore too much, then you're gonna waste your time. So that might be something worth noting for the sake of convenience, that is. So yeah, today's day is of course the 7th of September today, in this case in 2022 today. So I get the strong sense of feeling that not only that do we able to actually got 2 days left until the Sega Dreamcast release, for those of you who lived in North America, that the Sega Dreamcast will be expected to become 23 years old in North America, but also we've only got about 2 more days to go until Splatoon 3 is gonna come out. So, in fact, it is actually still coming onto its postage delivery, so I was expecting I was gonna be super excited about, especially noticeable about the fact that since I've still managed able to go myself Splatoon 1 on the Wii U, and also Splatoon 2. And it's also worth noting for is the fact that I believe that as far as like I said this before, ever since enjoying the forms of Kirby and the Forgotten Land Let's Play, that of course that Splatoon 3, thank god, now actually has the actual cloud save support. Because I just still have no idea why that Splatoon 2 just doesn't seem to able to actually get the actual patch update for able to actually have the compatibility for the sake of the forms of the cloud save feature. But it knows what it is, I guess. I'm guessing it's like sequel fixes from the previous sequel, something like that, but it knows what it stands for the most part. And I think I haven't looked upon the actual reviews of the game yet though, but hopefully I'll discuss more details about that until whenever we're able to continue with this. So, because obviously about the fact the matter is though, is the fact that relatively speaking, at this point in time, is the fact that not only do I still need to continue uploading schedules for the sake of the forms of, let's just say the forms of this particular Super Mario Galaxy game on Super Mario 3D All-Stars, but also that Tiana, she's still working on, you know, trying to continue things on for the sake of the forms of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening no, not the remake, Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color. I keep thinking about the forms of the Amazing Switch remake because, well, as far as what Tiana has already said, that she will practically going to be able to do the Game Boy Color release first before he dive right into the Switch remake, as in for reals. So, in this case though, it might actually took a bit some time to able to actually just to dive things in, or something like that for that nature, so. And since we got ourselves about 15 stars, so this means we can now able to actually access to the Bowser stage. In this case, the very first Bowser level, so. But before we continue things on in the forms of in the Fountain Dome, we need to take care of the forms of another comment, which appears to be on Honey Hive Galaxy, and we have to go all the way back to the Terrace Dome, so we can able to expect this much. So you get the idea about that specific topics worth noting for the sake of, I've already mentioned about the fact I was going to be pretty hyped for the forms of Splatoon 3 was actually getting pretty close to its release for, you know, worldwide and stuff like that for that nature. So, but also I get the strong sense of feeling that this month also marks the let's just say, the 2-year anniversary of the release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, despite the fact that we are pretty much going to be still missing Super Mario Galaxy 2, which is kind of sucks, honestly, because, you know, as far as what we've already mentioned about this loads of times since during the course of in 2021, that this game is no longer going to be increasing the sales numbers. So because of that, though, I couldn't imagine about the fact that, well, don't get me wrong, it still did pretty well back in the forms of that miserable year we've experienced previously. So as a result, though, at least it did so well. So, anyways, let's go ahead and race against with Cosmic Mario here. And of course, we're going to be able to try to deal with the forms of continuous long jumps, so just in case they'll make things a bit faster for ourselves. And on top of all that stuff, though, we can able to actually just to pull off some certain shortcuts, like we've already did one just earlier ago, by utilizing the long jump, and that's pretty much about it. So it looks like someone else is playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate again. For the sake of the forms of, my guessing is playing online, or playing some of these new stage builder stages. So, as far as I'm aware, this is gonna be the point where in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's gonna be filled to the brim with jam-packed with all these customizable stages and stuff like that. So, anyways, let's save our game here. And I think we'll pretty much gonna have to take a break on Terrace for now, because after all, that we've actually done with that particular mission. And now let's go ahead and head back onto the Fountain Dome again, except the fact that this time we're going to be able to deal with, what else, even more missions there, including buddy forms of maybe we can possibly able to actually decide able to wrap things up completely, well, almost anyway, for Space Junk Galaxy. So we can able to expect this much. So in this case, though, let's head on to the next mission here, such as Tarntox's Tangled Web. I do apologize for that mispronunciation with that specifically for this name. That's only mainly because it has been about, I would say 2 days ago since I actually last played this, so, because you know what I mean. Obviously, Tiana is working on The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color, so we can expect about the fact of how the actual the uploading schedules goes. Oh yeah, if you're probably wondering about the fact that as far as the forms of the next few Kirby games we can possibly be able to do in the future, to be more specifically Kirby Star Allies for the Switch, that'll be happening next year, especially noticeable marks the 5th year anniversary of the game's release, and also with the forms of some other spin-offs here and there as well. Like I've already mentioned about this already, ever since during the course of let's just say, well, pretty much ever will be, I guess. Although I do apologize for that particular commentary, it gets a little bit tad bare bones, but that's only mainly because that's the only thing I can usually describe about the forms of, well, let's just say the forms of the Splatoon 3 is getting closer to its release. And on top of all that stuff, though, it's just the fact that I was very looking forward to able to actually just to do even more Kirby Let's Plays in the future. To be more specifically, with all that spin-off titles here and there, for the sake of, you know, Kirby's Dream Course, and also maybe Kirby's Pinball Land, and even especially noticeable with the forms of Kirby's Block Ball, because as far as I've heard, about the fact that matter is, though, it's just the fact that, well, what? I honestly have no idea what I was doing. I honestly have no idea what the heck I was about to be doing. But anyway, though, that was unexpected death right there. In this case, the first death in the Super Mario Galaxy portion on Super Mario 3D All-Stars, sadly. But I digress. We'll just take a death anyway. So, anyways, now we come to the forms of that familiar mechanic, where basically we need to utilize those sling parts. And there's actually 2 different methods you can able to do with this in this version, such as, for instance, you can either just manage to able to use the pointer for, actually there's a way you can able to actually just to reset the pointer if you somehow manage to able to go ahead and reset the thing itself, I guess. Well, it's hard to explain because I know for a fact it's been 2 years ago, or actually gotta think about it, it's been about technically speaking, 3 years ago since we've last experienced this particular mission. For the sake of the forms of, course, Green Toad cannot able to actually break the actual, the egg shell quite easily. Unlike Mario, he was the only one who was capability of trying to able to pull stuff like this. So, So anyways, we meet again with this particular boss fight, except now in HD. So in this case though, there's not much else to speak of. So in this case, once again, we need to aim at its back at first, and then basically we can able to expect that we can able to aim at those 3 weak spots as soon as he able to tumbles over. So yeah, if you ever played the previous version before, either on the Wii or the Wii U, despite the fact that, well, we're no longer going to be getting the Wii U version of their digital download version of this game, sadly, because, well, you know what I mean, you can't add, you know, the eShop cards now, so it kind of sucks, honestly. So, well, at least for the most part, I still managed to get the physical version of Super Mario Galaxy, so, at least to be more specifically, back in 2007 and Christmas time, so. And something's worth mentioning is the fact that, unlike the E3 version of this boss fight right here, back in E3 2006, that basically you can able to actually just get rid of those, or you can actually able to actually attack any spots of its weak spots against with the forms of that particular boss as far as we've already fight against. Whilst in the final version, as far as I'm aware, both on the Wii, or even the Wii U digital version, or the Switch version for the sake of Super Mario 3D All-Stars version, that basically you always have to aim for the back. So, yeah, that probably explains about the forms of some significant changes between the beta version, to be more specifically the E3 2006, you know, prototype or something like that, whilst compared to the final version does manage to change a lot. So, anyways, let's head back in here for the 5th time. Well, technically speaking, this is our 17th time experiencing Space Junk Galaxy with all that amazing music and also the amazing atmosphere. So in this case though, we can able to actually now tackle through the 2nd mission. So I think it's going to be one of those episodes about the fact that we need to collect a certain amount of those star bits for, you know, trying to able to actually access to the secret planet. So, and then exponentially speaking is the fact that we can able to actually do this multiple times throughout the majority of the game. So, to be more specifically in Super Mario Galaxy's case. So, yeah, you get the idea of how this is going to turn out. So, seriously, I still really enjoyed this music a lot. Especially noticeable about the fact that it's so much of my nostalgia reasons. So, actually, kind of think about it though, is the fact that I cannot honestly believe that it's been about a decade ago since we've technically already done the Let's Play of Super Mario Galaxy originally back in 2012, but obviously that particular Let's Play is no longer there anymore because it wasn't until in 2019 roll around that basically we got ourselves a new replacement version of that particular Let's Play thanks to the forms of that capture card that we still have, and especially noticeable with a much more better commentary and also on top of that much more better quality. So as a result though, despite the fact that, well, like I said, the original version of the Let's Play of Super Mario Galaxy is no longer there, because obviously with bad commentary and also on top of that, the worst quality ever, because we have to rely on the forms of that very cheap camera as far as I'm concerned with. So because of that though, yeah, that pretty much explains about the fact that every now and then a lot of people prefer capture cards over the forms of trying to record stuff on camera, because apart from a couple of devices exceptions, but regardless of everything else though, when it comes to home consoles in general, that it is certainly is a lot more of appreciation when it comes to seeing things rather than just trying to deal with the forms of that messy footage. Especially noticeable, it's bad enough during the forms of about 11 years ago that Maxi 10 has never revived and he somehow gave up on YouTube. So because of that though, I can totally see why that's usually, relatively speaking, that a lot of YouTube fans saying about the fact that trying to bring him back, or anything else to be more specific, but nope, he just gives up on YouTube. So that's the reason why that a lot of comments stating about the fact that they say that, oh, this quality sucks. And also on top of that, the amount of stories they have is very unnecessary, especially noticeable about the fact that, actually I'll explain more in a second, Yoshi's Unexpected Appearance, the secret mission on Space Junk Galaxy. So, pretty swell I have to say. And also we managed able to actually access to another galaxy, so we can able to actually explore there. But before we deal with all that stuff though, let's tackle through the next galaxy in that particular order during the forms of the Silas system. So in this case though, the next galaxy we're going to be hopping into is none other than Rolling Green's galaxy. So in this case, let's go ahead and deal with the forms of a unique gimmick to this level, and that's what appears to be the Star Ball segments. So, rolling in the clouds. So yeah, you get the idea of how this goes. So, alright, so let's go ahead and get into this little Star Ball right here. Oh, really? We still need to able to actually read this billboard in order to able to do it. Fine, be that way. So of course, much like the forms of the Manta Ray segments, obviously you can able to actually use either the Joy-Con for its similar control scheme as in the Wii Remote, or if you play on handheld mode, you have to tilt the device itself. So as a result though, kind of weird when if you try to play on handheld mode, whilst unlike the Nokia Shield edition of this game, I believe it's all like control stick movements and stuff like that, while you simply press the A button to, I would classify for saying just trying to able to just jump. Now I get the feeling with the actual, the right analog stick, assuming so anyway, that you have to be able to actually utilize the pointer and grab the star bits there. So as a result though, that I haven't exactly known about it, because it has been quite a few months ago since I actually known about the forms of the Nokia Shield version of the game. So because of that though, maybe it's because I'm more accustomed to the Wii version or recently the Switch version. So yeah, you probably get the idea about that. Now of course, if you're following for our Let's Play of both Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2, that's obviously that the Star Ball segments are utilized motion controls a lot. Although mind you about the fact that there's only 3 stages in terms of the forms of in Super Mario Galaxy, the first one, whilst compared to Super Mario Galaxy 2, technically, you have to do with the Star Ball segments at least about 4 times, technically. At least as far as I'm aware, because as far as I usually recall correctly, that because of the forms of the prankster comments usually shows up in Super Mario Galaxy 2 for all these Star Ball stages, because as far as I'm aware, in Rolling Masterpiece Galaxy, you do the actual stage normally, and then you have to do it again, but within a time limit, and so it applies to the forms of Rainbow Coaster Galaxy from the likes of the forms of in World S, as far as I'm concerned with that stuff though, and because basically you have to do the actual the stage as normal, and then you have to do it again, but somehow the star has been replaced by the purple coin. So as a result though, they have to do the purple coin comments challenge in Rainbow Coaster and stuff like that. So but you know, you get the idea of how I'm usually going to discuss upon certain things, so oh yeah, and as far as I'm aware as well, is the fact that I think we've almost to the point where I believe that Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep on the PSP, at least specifically in the UK release, is going to be about 12 years old for the sake of the forms of this month and this year in particular for those of you who lived in the UK, such as myself. So as a result though, yeah, happy 12th anniversary of the release of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, to be more specifically the UK release of the game, whilst technically Japan already did, for the sake of the forms at the beginning of 2022, so yeah, that's as far as I can usually try to able to mention about that stuff in particular, so as you can see, we ended up in the forms of in a Battle Rock Galaxy again, except this time in HD, despite the fact it was all emulated and stuff like that, which yeah, I can totally see why a lot of people still usually complain about the forms of that particular, not only for the sake of the forms of the quality of the actual emulation of the exact same games or something like that, but also about the fact that with back in the day in the forms of that miserable year we've experienced, that the costing of the price is actually way too overpriced, like $60 from Americans anyway. So yeah, I can totally see why about the fact that, well, relatively speaking, it's just, I have no idea why just saying things like that, honestly. So anyway, so let's go ahead and take a bit of a ride on that particular gravity platform while trying to dodge not only cannons, but also just trying to avoid those a lot of electricity, so just in case that we won't be able to actually turn into a skeleton if you somehow manage to able to die by the forms of a lot of electricity, and on top of all that stuff though, just anything else in general. So anyway, so let's go ahead and summon ourselves the Bullet Bill, so just in case we can able to take him all the way up to that particular caged up power star right here. And it's pretty easy when you get the down of it, so piece of cake. So again, not much else to say, honestly, aside from the fact that I already mentioned about the forms of the Splatoon 3 is getting close, and all the other jazz as far as you most likely are aware of. So, there we go, Battle Rock Barrage as the name of the first mission on the sake of the forms of this, for the sake of time. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to back onto Battle Rock Galaxy again to tackle through the next mission. And also, kind of think about it, I think, fundamentally speaking, at least if I recall it correctly, basically we've only got about, I would say 18 days left or something? Hold on. Yeah, it's roughly 18 days left until, basically that Mario Kart Tour will be eventually become... Is it like 18? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 18, because I've already explained the today's day it is, which is, of course, 7th of September today. So, yeah, I was totally right. So, in this case, though, we only got 18 days left until Mario Kart Tour will be eventually become 3 years old, despite the fact that I don't usually enjoy the game as much, because usually, relatively speaking, I'm more accustomed to playing, you know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe all over again, because obviously, thanks to the forms of the DLC that just been recently came out of. So, yeah, I guess that's probably true about the fact that that's the reason why I play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch a lot more than the forms of how it doesn't on the forms of that pretty mediocre Mario Kart Tour on the smartphones. Although, don't get me wrong, although I think I should probably save that conversation until when it gets to the point until the 25th of September, for specifically for this year, for its celebrating its 3rd birthday for the game's existence. So, which I think, fundamentally speaking, it's gonna be on the 25th of September on Sunday. So because of that, though, I think we should probably let some toy sales were able to actually mentioning about that until maybe they're probably able to go back onto Donkey Kong Land 3. Pretty much, because obviously that we can able to actually just let the actual uploading schedule continues for the sake of the forms of kind of think about it though, is the fact that for somehow in this month in particular, dang it, I just was gonna able to shake it a bit earlier, but nope, I have to be launched all the way higher up first before we dive right into things. But I have no idea why I just managed to ramble on stuff too much. So anyways, let's go ahead and try to utilize the Polestar segments here. So just in case, we'll try to avoid as many of those dynamite bombs as much as we can. And hopefully we can able to hop on to here to obviously just come across into that particular ground pound switch. So that way we're able to once again revealed, I would say star bits around here. So we can able to actually collect more of them. In fact, for some reason, I'm always having a hard time trying to get up there somehow, but thankfully I somehow reached up there, so that's good for me, for my circumstances anyway. And somehow we need to free that Luma that has been trapped inside in this crystallized object, so... And to do this though, we need to utilize the bob-ombs every now and then. So of course, if you're following through our Let's Play of both Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2, both on the Wii, basically though is the fact that in order to utilize the bombs in these games in particular, that if they start to walk, basically though you have to able to shake at them, like to perform a spin attack on them, so just in case they won't be able to walk again, and then basically grab the bomb quickly until you're able to immediately grab it while simply walk towards it, and then basically if it starts flashing, toss it immediately, assuming if you don't get caught by an explosion. So we can able to expect how this is going if you ever played Super Mario Galaxy 1 and Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii before. So anyways, let's toss onto that specific spot here to not only get actually access to the cannon, but also out of nowhere we get ourselves a 1-up. After that particular little bit of explosion effect, we're able to blow up that particular cage, but hey, at least it doesn't have that much issues on my part. But anyway, so that does it for that mission. So of course the mission we've already done, it appears to be breaking into the Battle Rock. So yeah, pretty much expected at this point. Although, as far as the secret mission, as far as that's been concerned, well, again, save that for later. So in this case, let's move on to the third mission now. So in this case though, we pretty much expect of what this next mission is going to be about. Alright, so let's go into Top-Matic and the Top-Man Tribe. So of course, this is actually the introduction to those Top-Mans right here. At least specifically in the original version on Super Mario Galaxy. So yeah, just about a year before when Mario Kart Wii exists, and then basically one of those online challenges in the competition modes, or competition mode as far as I'm concerned with that stuff. Basically, you were able to actually just try to defeat the massive Top-Man enemy if you try to able to do the competition mission mode, at least specifically in Mario Kart channel mode. So it's kind of a shame about the fact that I do really still do miss the old days with Mario Kart Wii for Mario Kart channel for its online features and stuff like that, because despite the fact that the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection has been no longer supporting. So oh, there's also another Kirby game I might try to consider trying to do a Let's Play off. That's what appears to be Kirby Tilt and Tumble, because as far as I'm aware, well, assuming if I was trying to able to actually access the emulator version of the game, because for what I've heard, thanks to Forms of Ant Dude's video about the Forms of the Rankings video of the rest of the Kirby games from worst to best, that he did found out there was actually a patch of the game that's specifically in the emulator version of Kirby Tilt and Tumble, that basically the accelerometer that utilized the motion controls in that game has been disabled on the emulator version. So I was gonna able to try to do that, but I'll try to able to sort that out once I finish this recording session first. So in this case, shortcut for the win. Man, I love shortcuts like this, especially noticeable you can skip some good chunks of the level, especially noticeable you can able to actually just can't afford to able to do like, you know, flipping the actual switch, or even especially noticeable as you see on screen that I can't utilize the forms of trying to able to utilize that springy thing right there. So that should be pretty obvious. Although, if we get into the Luigi's playthrough of the game, then we pretty much expect to able to skip a good chunks of certain portions of certain missions. So anyway, so let's go ahead and deal with some more Top-Man enemies from here by, you know, just try to let them get defeated on if they touch these little lasers. So within both red and green lasers respectively, and then now open up the door to able to lead us to, of course, the launch star. So we can able to expect how this is going on, and the thing explodes. So, which reminds me, why can't they added in a time limit before you're able to die from the explosion? Although I'm guessing it's because of, I don't know, logic, I guess? Hello there, Top-O-Matic again, except now you're in HD, so that means we can deal with you again, but this time on the Nintendo Switch. So, yeah, you get the idea. You have to jump on his head, then basically you have to spin attack onto him while you're trying to able to, hopefully try to, God forbid, try to hit him with the actual lasers, assuming if he ever touches it. So, yeah, pretty easy. Especially noticeable that we're able to fight against with him again until later on throughout the game, to be more specifically in the Golden Dome. Which, again, if you guys ever watched our Let's Plays of Super Mario Galaxy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, to be more specifically on the original Wii version of the game, it's kind of a shame that particular boss fight does not return at all in Super Mario Galaxy 2. But, oh well, no big deal. Oh, speaking of a devil, we have Daredevil comment already popped up as soon as I was trying to able to select the next mission. So, in this case, let's go and deal with this. And before we dive right into the second, or actually, kind of think about it, I I have no idea why he's speaking so gibberish about this, especially noticeable that, like I said, I do apologize if my commentary gets a little bit tad bare bones for the most part, especially noticeable now I've already mentioned about the forms of other things itself worth noting for, but that's as far as I can usually try to able to point things out, so... Oh yeah, kind of think about it, this particular UFO planet we actually ended up in right now, that was before when Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games, usually that it does manage to take place on this particular planet, where basically it's the fact that you have to run onto that particular endless, you know, circle road while trying to able to jump over hurdles, which, you know, dream hurdles, because obviously you're trying to jump over the hurdles, like getting points and stuff like that, which, yeah, you probably get the idea about that. But, you know, we pretty much kicked his butt no problem, especially noticeable since I played this game loads of times in the past, at least back in the day since 2007, despite I have a bit of frustration back in the day when the game was actually first launched. But the more I'm growing older, then the more easy it is for me to overcome those specific, for the sake of the forms of certain missions. So, anyway, so let's head over to the secret mission, which takes place in breaking into the Battle Rock. So, and next thing you notice is the fact that we need to grab certain amounts of those star bits here. So, at least unlike any forms of how it does it on, well, to be more specifically in our certain other Let's Plays during the past few months ago, to be more specifically with that Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that I'm hoping that the amount of commentary was actually going to be in sync for the majority of the Super Mario Galaxy portion of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, whilst unlike in Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that one of those parts in particular, that somehow the actual in-sync commentary is a bit out of hand, but also on top of that though is out of sync when it comes to likely for the gameplay footage and stuff. Alright, so let's go ahead and meet up with this hungry Luma, and he's probably need about roughly 20. Oh wait, 30. Okay, I wasn't paying attention to the actual number. I keep thinking about the forms of that other mission, or to be more specifically, one of those galaxies in Super Mario Galaxy 2, I guess? Well, again, it has been a couple of years ago since I actually last played the Wii version of Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2, because, well, somehow I'm more into the forms of other games, such as, for instance, I'm still waiting for, you know, Splatoon 3, and also recently I'm still playing, other Switch games in my life, such as, for instance, still playing Mario Strikers Battle League Football recently for playing online and stuff like that. So, anyways, time to deal with this particular mission right here, where basically we have to utilize those bob-bombs to basically just try to take down those garbage piles of junk. Although, the best advice I can think about is the fact that with all these yellow spots you see right there, that'll be helpful, especially noticeable. I highly recommend you do not, I repeat, do not get rid of them, because obviously that will ruin the mission for you. So, in this case though, let the bomb just explode, and boom, the mission's done. Pretty easy though, especially noticeable next to the forms of the next one, so that'll be the reason for that. So, anyway, so let's grab that power star like we just did right there, so we can able to expect how this is going. So, whew. Oh yeah, I should probably also mention, although I'll get to more in a second, Battle Rock's Garbage Dump, in this case the secret mission's name for the secret mission on this particular galaxy. So, alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next galaxy, which appears to be over there in Hurry Scurry Galaxy. So, actually kind of think about it, I think I do remember this galaxy, because as far as I'm aware, recently out of nowhere, that's basically one of those fans out there has already working on the forms of, let's just say like a tech demo of any sort for the likes of Super Mario Galaxy DS, which I know for the fact that I remember back in the day that at first I thought that was actually going to be reality, but it turns out it's actually just a bit of a fake news. Although, what I found out in one of those DS mods project, is managed able to work on Super Mario Galaxy DS, and as far as I'm aware, it plays kind of like the forms of between both Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2, well, except the fact that it has a combination of most of those familiar music and sound effects based off from both Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2. And as far as I'm aware, one of those galaxies they include in one of those PC demos, or to be more specifically, Super Mario Galaxy DS demo, kind of ROM hack or something like that, which appears to be this level. So as a result though, despite the fact that from what I've seen the actual video footage, it looks really almost accurate to the forms of how it does in the original version on that stage. Although, the only thing it's worth noting for it is the fact that, usually relatively speaking, that, but if you try to able to jump through that particular question mark block, that for some reason, that Mario just somehow managed to clip through for that, question mark block. So, that's something worth, noting for, especially noticeable about the fact that, but for what it's worth, it looks almost very accurate to the forms of how it does it on, the original Super Mario Galaxy game, basically, so... Anyway, so before we move on to the Bowser level, in this case the first Bowser stage in this game, basically we need to take care of the forms of Sling Pod Galaxy first, because obviously we need to take care of that particular galaxy first. In this case, a very sticky situation, so... yeah, that pretty much explains how the fact that, yeah... I think the only time I actually sort of feels like familiar with that word, which is of course a very sticky situation. That's what appears to be by the forms of, well, there was a show called Oswald, not the Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, but I'm talking about a preschool version of that particular name for Oswald. In this case, Oswald the Blue Octopus, which I think when I was little, I think I remember a little bit. Ah, no! Ah, so close. I just got distracted on other things. Oh well, no big deal, but at the very least we got a lot of lives, so we don't need to worry about getting the game over, which, that reminds me, about the fact that on the majority of the Klonoa Let's Plays we've already done, well, except a couple, which appears to be, obviously Klonoa Heroes, as well as the forms of, Klonoa Beach Volleyball, that basically, I've never actually got any game overs in the majority of any other Klonoa games, and unfortunately I've got another death because I somehow got blown up by the forms of that particular mine bomb. Although, mind you, because I was being so hasty, so because of that though, no need to rush, because obviously if you dare rush, then you're gonna die a lot. So, yeah, just always being super patient with this level, because, well, it's a good thing I was able to try to do the patience thing, so yeah, that pretty much explains it. So yeah, this level is the fact that not only does this level so short, but also you have to utilize the forms of a lot of sling pads we have to able to get a lot of usage of, but it's also about the fact that this is the best way you can able to actually grind for more of those start bits if you keep on coming across into a lot of deaths, so, which is something I've learned about since back in the day, for one of those hints and all that stuff, so... But you know, you get the idea of how that's gonna turn out to be, so... Anyway. This particular level is completed, so... And as far as I'm aware, that we pretty much almost 100% through everything in terms of the Fountain Dome. Well, the only thing it needs to do right now is of course the first Bowser level, so... At least we can able to expect, we can able to actually kick Bowser's butt again. So, at least unlike the forms of how it does it on Super Mario Sunshine, that we only kick Bowser's butt just once, which appears to be taking place in Corona Mountain. But anyway, enough about that, so let's get into Bowser's Star Reactor. So of course, that the similar structure from the forms of Super Mario 64, we will come across into Bowser for about 3 times, so... Well, technically 4, or perhaps even 8 times for the majority of Super Mario Galaxy the original, because... Well, you probably already know what to expect. The Fury Stronghold. And of course, that's similar to Super Mario 64 because it tells this very cool... stage theme right here, so yeah, I do apologize for that particular awkward silence for a second because I somehow belched, which is incredibly gross and all that stuff, but I do apologize for that. Oh jeez, we need to be very careful. Oh, okay, that works. That works for me, especially noticeable that thankfully I did not get crushed to death, so... Anyways, let's go ahead and stumble across those little gravity segments. Oh jeez, that was so close! No! Okay, we'll just wait here. Jeez Louise, man, almost getting myself reckless almost. And of course, in one of those Bowser levels, I can assure you that we don't collect that much star bits though. But as far as I'm aware, oh my god, that was very, very close. Almost expecting I'm almost gonna get crushed. But anyway, let's go and long jump here and try to avoid those fire bars and all that stuff, despite I got hurt again. But luckily, those coins were able to regenerate my health. Oh, hello Bowser again, especially noticeable after dealing with you ever since in Super Mario Sunshine. So in this case though, let's go ahead and grab the life mushrooms, so just in case we'll double our health extension. So anyways, I think this is probably best able to do the normal way by doing that. So, because, well, I just don't want to risk my another extra life, so... Whoa-ha-ha-ha-ha, you finally made it. Just in time for me to stomp you into space bits. So let's begin the first Bowser battle in Super Mario Galaxy. For those of you who have already seen the Wii version already, basically we need to like let Bowser decide is able to actually do a stomp move at that light blue glass things at that. So basically that way if you deal with that, then Bowser will catch his fire at this tail. And then basically it's your chance to do a spin attack on him, and then you spin attack at him again while he was actually gonna be you know, when he's laying down and spins around every now and then. So, and Rapha Rems repeats while trying to able to avoid a lot of his attacks for, you know, the actual the ring laser, and also same applies to the forms of those fire bars as well. So, as to be expected, one of the easiest bosses in the game, especially noticeable, this is like the beginning portion of the game, but eventually it gets a bit tough. Well, honestly, I found the actual the boss battles like this, well, to be more specifically, one of those any Bowser battles in Super Mario Galaxy 1, to be a lot easier, just because, well, I've already experienced the game loads of times already. Doesn't matter what versions I play through, but relatively speaking, that's as far as I can try to explain it this, so... Anyway, so let's do another spin, and KO! Wow, I wish there was going to be a KO, but turns out he's not going to be dead yet, so... There's still more to come. What? How? Foolish Mario, my plan is too far along now. You really think you can beat me? Wahahaha. Yeah, I do apologize for that particular kind of an awkward moment right there with the actual text box and everything, because for some reason I'm almost gonna get myself a bit of a cough due to let's just say I've almost accidentally swallowed my drink in the wrong hole, but I'm still fine as it is, so there we go, we got ourselves our third Grand Star, because we've already experienced the other two Grand Stars since the beginning, as well as taking down Mega Leg, and eventually we're now able to actually proceed to the next dome, which to be expected is obviously the Kitchen Dome, so... yeah, you probably get the idea of how the actual structure goes. So now we can able to actually go into the Kitchen Dome, like I said, and we've got about roughly 27 of those Power Stars. So I think we actually collected about, I would say 13, basically, for this video. You rescued another Grand Star, and power has returned to another dome in the back of the observatory. But I still don't think we have the star power we need to fly the observatory through the universe. The villain who kidnapped your special one took her far from here to the center of the universe. once our star power is restored, the observatory will be able to go there. Then you can reunite with your special one. Yeah, that seems definitely true, Rosalina. So, yeah, with that being said, folks, I think we should probably end things off at this point right here. So join me next time for more Let's Play of Super Mario 3D All-Stars in Super Mario Galaxy game. It's the fact that we're about to explore the Kitchen Dome and collect some more Power Stars in the process. So I'll see you guys on Friday. Later, fellas.